into the intricacies of this particular investigation regarding a deal made years ago?
Yeah, this was a bit of a surprise. We got this news last night from state television in China, where CCTV disclosed that the agency SAMR has opened this probe into Nvidia and what it calls potentially anti-monopolistic behavior. It's a little curious because, as you say, they're focused in, or they mentioned specifically, a deal that they did 4 years ago to buy a company called Mellanox. It's a company in Israel that makes networking equipment. China had to approve that deal when Nvidia decided to do it, and they did approve it, as you mentioned, in 2020, but they did with 7 different conditions about Nvidia's behavior going forward. That included giving customers in China access to product information from Mellanox and product access for Nvidia's own chips. Now, it's not exactly clear what they're going to dig into in this case, but as you noted, Nvidia has been this company at the heart of the U.S.-China conflicts over technology. Washington has cut off Nvidia's ability to sell its most advanced chips into China, so they're really at the heart of this conflict between the 2 biggest economies in the world.
Now, it's worth noting that the U.S. Justice Department itself is looking for information to Nvidia and potentially violating antitrust laws. It's not the only country investigating Nvidia, but set the context of what other companies are being focused in on this tit for tat, because Micron, for example, is having difficulty with its relationship with China. This just does seem to be around the context of China trying to be one up on what it and respond to the U.S. limitations of technology into its country.
Yeah, as you say, the anti-monopoly concerns around Nvidia are quite broad. It's not just China, it's also the United States. France here has taken a look at it. That's because they have essentially a monopoly, 100% share, almost 100% share in the most advanced chips to train AI models. But you're exactly right. Also, there's this broader trade conflict that we've seen that creates all sorts of problems for companies in between the U.S. and China. Nvidia still sells a lot of chips into China. It had sold more in the past, but 2 years ago we got this news that Washington was going to cut off their ability to sell the most high-end AI chips used to train AI models. Those restrictions have been steadily tightened since then, so Nvidia has suffered because of that. But it's beyond that, too. It's the chip equipment makers that have been restrained. ASML here in Europe has been restrained from selling their most advanced gear. So in response, Beijing has taken a number of actions now. We're seeing them retaliate in certain kinds of ways where they cut off a couple of minerals that are very important to the chip industry and the defense industry, in particular, gallium and germanium. So they're beginning to show that they also have some cards to play, some levers to pull in this broader trade conflict.